as I'm hitting with a brick. It's a psychological trick for the parasitic tick. See the blood is getting thick in the middle of the kick. Every second of the tick is a bit of kinda sick. I'm a venom in the pit with a lethal kinda hit, putting every single bit in the spiritual pit. See the burner has been lit for the cowards that are quit, giving every single bit of the terror in the grid. Got a brutal inclination for a lethal activation during total degradation of a hollow population. See the constant oscillation of a state's manipulation in a pathetic demonstration. Better rough on the perimeter, the sinister minister is finishing the visitor. The inquisitor is bitter, no quitter in the litter of the transmitter. It's a cold-blooded mission, no permission for the efficiency, the vision of the precision in the prison of the division. Make a sudden death decision. I'm the phantom of the black in the middle of the fight, bringing terror to the light for the spirit of the right. It's a psychological might in the middle of the night for a total kind of blind. Hear the rhythm and percussion of a verbal repercussionist. I'm causing a concussion with the lyrical discussion. Leave them drowning in the suction of a massive self-destruction during total production. It's a toxic complication in a verbal provocation, leading straight to sequestration of a ready corporation through the sudden penetration of a lethal and a bitter reputation in the middle of the station. Every syllable is sticking and the tension starts pricking as the yellow light is flickering. The cowards keep on bickering. I'm the shadow that is quickening, the sickness that is thickening. I'm the surgical incision of a pathological vision, causing total inhibition of accurate submission, making sudden death transition through the power of a tactical precision. Witness total degradation during verbal activation for a mental amputation in a state of desperation, giving every habitation for a wicked demonstration of a bitter reputation. I'm the master of the nation through the total liquidation of a parasitic fabrication with the lethal provocation, leading straight to the damnation of a hollow reputation in the middle of the station. Put a bullet in the rumor of a parasitic tumor as I'm draining every humor from a pathetic consumer. Watch the shadow of the doomer in the sudden death consumer. I'm a titan on the track with the carbon in the back. See the shadow in the crack of a bitter heart attack, giving everything you lack in the middle of the pack for a total kind of black. Put the target on the trader for the total kind of crater, and the bitter kind of hater for the spiritual creator in the state of greater later for a mental kind of cater. Got the static in the attic, it's dramatic and erratic, problematic and emphatic, systematic and symptomatic, fully loaded automatic with the tactics in the middle of the havoc. Every pitter-patter trigger is a bitter hearted figure. I'm the bigger hearted figure, making every pocket bigger, while the shadow of the digger is the trigger for the rigger. I can hear the rattle cattle of the cattle in the battle, leaving rattled in the saddle as I travel through the gravel. See the mystery unravel in the middle of the job. I'll see the flicker in the spirit as I'm watching how you fear it for the total kind of hear it in the spiritual clear it for a parasitic spirit in the state of bitter nerve. Better pray to the devil for a subterranean level as I'm dancing with the rebel, a total kind of dishevel. See the spirit of rebel in a world of total battle, like it's another total betrayal in the spiritual trail for a parasitic fail in a total kind of jail for a mental kind of hell in the state of bitter rail in the middle of the gale. Watch tactical precision of a surgical incision while I'm crushing your remission with the lethal ammunition. See the terror of the transition and the total demolition of a wicked superstition. I'm a phantom in the wreckage with a lethal kind of message and a psychological passage through the spirit of bondage and a total kind of blockage for a mental kind of hostage. It's a rhythmic execution, the immense retribution for a mental substitution of a moral dissolution. See the total retribution of the social institution in the state of prostitution. I'm the shadow in the corner, the spirit of a mourner for a pathetic performer in the state of bitter warmer for a mental kind of former in the total kind of reformer. Put a target on the just for the spirit of a pester in the parasitic gangster for a total kind of vista in the state of bitter what's for a mental kind of tester. I can feel the total panic in my metabolic manic in the cinematic organic for a systematic botanic in the total kind of panic for a spiritual volcanic. Keep the body in the barrel for the spiritual barrel, the total kind of barrel for a parasitic barrel in the state of bitter sterile for a mental kind of curl in the midst of the pocket with the bullet in the socket. See the power of the bracket, there's a locket in the knock it, put in every single servant in the mental kind of lock it. Hit the echo of the scream, it's on killing every dream of a parasitic scheme in the word the total extreme. See the flicker with the beam in the total business steam of a big mainstream total panic in the track. It gets some crack kind of magic. See the havoc to the savage in the baggage of the church. You keep it being into in the ego for the total kind of amigo in the parasitic ego for a spiritual kind of indigo in the state of bitter vertigo for a mental kind of go in the middle of the ego. I can feel the total pressure of a spiritual dresser for a parasitic messer in the total kind of guesser for a mental kind of lesser in the state of bitter presser in the middle of the dresser. See the flicker of the flame in the world of total shame for a parasitic claim in a total kind of name for a mental kind of game in the state of bitter tame in the middle of the flame. I'm the leader of the pack for the track of the back for the stack of the black in the middle of the attack, but total kind of soldier in the spiritual track in the middle of the black. I can see the total failure in the spiritual trailer for a parasitic killer in a total kind of sailor for a mental kind of tailor in a state of bitter trailer in the middle of the failure. Put a target on the spirit for the total kind of fear it in the parasitic hear it for a spiritual clear it in the state of bitter spirit for a mental kind of hear it in the middle of the spirit. I'm the master with the craft with the lethal kind of shaft. As I'm watching how you laugh at a pathetic draft. See the spirit of the raft in the world and total graft in the middle of the shaft. It's a total demolition of a toxic competition. It's a force of total submission in a state of inhibition. I'm the master with the friction in a world of dereliction in the middle of the friction. Is the command of a spirit in the land during total mental hand. hitters keep on quitting. I'm the phantom that is sitting where the poison is emitting. See the spirit that is flitting while the target is a hitting. In the middle of the sitting, I'm a titan on the move with a spirit in the groove. As I'm watching how you prove every parasitic behoove. See the power of the smooth in a word of total soothe for a lyrical reprove. In the middle of the groove, final victory is here for the spirit of the near, for the power of the sphere and a total kind of gear for a parasitic spear in a state of bitter clear in the middle of the sphere. I'm the master of the dust with a spiritual contrast in a world that isn't just or in total kind of boss. See the power of the moss in a state of total thrust in the middle of the dust. Every bar is a weapon for the stepping in the second for the beckoning in the wrecking in the middle of the weapon of a total kind of master in the spiritual and bitter kind of beckon. I'm the champion, the truth for the youth, for the booth, for the tooth, for the root in the middle of the booth of a total kind of master in the spiritual and bitter kind of truth. Watch them slither, watch them slide, nowhere left for you to hide. In this Memphis heat we ride, let the power be the guide. Sweeping out the nest, putting every single coward to the test with a rhythm in the chest, leaving nothing but the best. Every serpent that I find, leaving all the weak behind, is a technical design for the spirit in the mind. Flicker in the light, see the venom in the bite, with the phantoms in the night, with the total kind of mind. If you feeling the frequency, keeping the real ones alive, hit the button for the anthem and politely subscribe. We building the family, keeping the 90s in drive. Join the channel tonight, watch the loyal survive. Yeah, 90s Street Anthem. No fake snakes allowed. Yeah. If you feeling the rhythm and the rhythm, yeah. I step into the party and I turn the whole scene to a crash, taking every bit of money from your little pity stash. You looking for a shortcut, trying to make a quick splash, fronting like a veteran while looking like a piece of trash. Punishing the plagiarists, I pulverize the print, I paralyze the poachers and I peel them with the slash. I recognize the pattern and I recognize the bash, hitting like a shotgun blast and turning rappers into hash. Taking out the traders, I be terrifying teens. I torch the toxic talkers who be tripping on the hash. The industry is shaking from the impact of the clash, watching every fraudulent career go down in the heavy dash. The Minimoog is whining while I execute the bash, shutting down the operations, burning them to ash. You never stood a chance against the impact of the smash, leaving every faker in the pile of the cold cash. I'm moving like a soldier and I'm ready to indict, putting all the pressure on the ones who never act right. You talking about the streets but you ain't ready for the frostbite, hiding in the mansion while we pushing through the blight. I recognize the weakness and I recognize the fright. You ain't got no story so you have to steal the light. Pull up on your session, bringing terror to the campsite, snatching ghost riders and crushing the megabyte. I'm coming for the titles and I'm coming for the hype, burying the novices who never saw the real plight. Boom Bap kicks a hit and taking out the socialite, breaking down the barrier, shutting off daylight. The West Coast connection is the only way to write, keeping all the records coming purely from the inner sight. I finish off the record and I finish off the night, leaving ghost riders in a coffin where it's always airtight, dictating the direction for the ultimate invasion, leaving all the fakers in a state of desperation. I'm holding down the block without a single hesitation, pulling out the plug on your pathetic operation, operating heavy with the lethal infiltration, bringing proper panic to the center of the nation, witnessing the fall of a pathetic generation. I am the creator of the fatal termination. I'm walking through the fire and I never leave a trace, wiping off the fraudulent expression from your face. You begging for a feature just to keep up with the pace, acting like a champion but coming in last place. I analyze the movement and I analyze the space, but in every studio pretender in the heavy race, the fender roads is humming while we dismantle the disgrace, dropping heavy syllables that nobody can chase. You hiding in the shadows trying to avoid the case, knowing that you entered in the losing kind of race. I'm burning down the temple and I'm taking out the base, sending every ghost writer directly into space. We moving with the outlaws who are ready to embrace every single battle in a very heavy bass. You're paying for the lyrics, but you cannot buy the grace. Sweating in the studio while dropping down the blaze. I regulate the perimeter and dominate the place, putting all the cowards in a solitary cage. You claiming you authentic, but the lie is on your face. Shaking when the Machiavelli spirit starts to chase. The West Coast is heavy, and we setting up the pace, leaving all the fakers in an empty parking space, dictating the direction for the ultimate invasion, leaving all the fakers in a state of desperation. I'm holding down the block without a single hesitation, pulling up the clever in your pathetic operation, operating heavy with the lethal infiltration, bringing proper panic to the center of the nation, witnessing the fall of a pathetic generation. I am the creator of the fatal termination. You're feeling the rhythm and loving the 90 design. Hit the subscribe button, leave a comment on the line. We building the family, keeping the golden never fine. Welcome to the street anthem, glad to see your spirit shine. Yeah. Much love, we out. Memphis, we ride, let the power be the guide. Sweeping out the nest, putting every single coward to the test. With the rhythm in the chest, leaving nothing but the best. Every serpent that I find, leaving all the weak behind. It's a technical design for the spirit in the mind. Flicker in the light, see the venom in the bite. With the phantoms in the night, with the total kind of might. Is evident, the president, the sentiment, the settlement, the detriment, the element, the testament. I'm the master of the sediment with a lethal kind of pediment for a parasitic impediment and a total kind of regimen for a mental kind of condiment in the middle of the merriment. See the total kind of paving in the spiritual enslavement for a parasitic bereavement in the total kind of achievement for a mental kind of sequence in the middle of the sequence. Every transient is popping while the enemies are dropping. I'm the spirit that is lopping every serpent that is hopping. See the power of the mopping and the stopping in the middle of the popping. Inhabiting the spiritual management, during total abandonment of a parasitic gapping. Can see the power of the rapping in the state of total gallant for a lyrical enchantment. Put a target on the demon with a spiritual kind of beaming for a parasitic dreaming in a total kind of gleaming for a state of bitter screaming for a mental kind of demon. I can hear the total thunder of a spiritual blunder as I'm tearing you asunder in a total kind of wonder for a parasitic wonder in a state of beat wonder. See the flicker in the spirit as I'm watching how you fear it for the total kind of hear it in the spiritual clearing for a parasitic spirit in the middle of the spirit of a phantom. Watch the metabolic agitation in the psychological station, and the master of the nation through the total liquidation of a parasitic and a wicked mental fabrication. I'm the ruler of the rubble with the lethal kind of bubble for a parasitic trouble in the total kind of double for a mental kind of rubble in the state of bitter stubble. Every syllable is stinging like a hornet when I'm singing. Keep them ringing while I'm bringing all the swinging and the flinging of the clinging to the springing. I'm the master of the game with the fire in the name for a parasitic shame in the total kind of flame for a mental kind of tame in the state of bitter reclaim. Witness the rebirth of the spirit on the earth, or in total mental word for a parasitic birth. See the power of the girth in the word of total mirth for a lyrical unearth in the middle of the heart. I'm a titan on the rise with the fire in the eyes as I'm watching how he dies in the world of total lies. See the power of the prize in the state of total size for a lyrical disguise. It's a spiritual ascent during total mental bend as I'm paying every rand for a parasitic advance. See the power of the sand in the world of total span for a lyrical intent in the middle of the band. I'm the phantom in the breed with the lethal kind of spree for a parasitic decree in the total kind of need for a mental kind of plea in the state of bitter free in the middle of the me, damn it, I come in the dark, don't mean I drag the dummies, dragging down the culture till they drown. The upright bass is walking while we doing another round, wrapping up the industry and keeping every hater bound. Silence in the mumble mouth, I mangle the macabre Machiavelli menace, making mincemeat on the mound. I elevate the pressure to the weaknesses unbound, catching every poser who is creeping all around. You spit another coward soul and sell it by the pound, claiming you a boss but you a puppy, not a hound. The legacy is written and the truth is finally found, burying the far to lake completely in the solid ground. Shift the energy and set the perimeter to tight, taking all the jewelry and leaving you a pathetic sight. You think you're untouchable because the cameras are bright. Wait until the sirens start to scream in the dead of night. I break these studio gangsters till their knuckles turning white, bleeding out the counterfeits and leaving them in spite. You trying to survive the storm without a paddle or a light, begging for a mercy while I'm stripping all your birthright. I'm rolling with the outlaws who are ready to ignite, putting out the fires that you started just to stay in sight. Authenticity is something that you simply cannot write. Even with $1 million, you will never reach the height. I terminate the hype and the counterfeit the light, leaving you to shiver while we dominate the urban fight. The Memphis cowboy ringing as I prepare to win the fight, keeping all the real ones in a circle that is strictly tight.
Eliminated fakers with the final calculation, stopping every shadow in the sudden termination. I don't need a ghostwriter to build my reputation. I am dropping heavy fire on your hollow operation, witnessing the panic in a heavy situation, breaking down the walls of your pathetic foundation. Never sold my spirit for a radio rotation, leaving all you studio gangsters in a devastation.
I step into the arena ready for the lyrical fight, crushing every puppet who be stepping into the spotlight. You claim you built a kingdom but your verses ain't got no mic, strictly for the radio but never for the street hype. Heavy hammering, hitting like a hammer, hurling hellfire at the hypocrites who hire help and hiding out of sight. Your credibility is fading and your soul is looking white, shaking when the real G's arrive on the battle site. I see the coward in your eyes because you lack the proper grit, biting on the legends while you're fading from the common sight. Machiavelli madness manifesting, making miniature mice, mistake a motherfucking monster for a mite. The game is getting saturated, looking like an urban blight, feeding on the culture while you're hiding from the street light. I regulate the industry and set the record up right, terminating fakers during the cold winter night.
Sending out the emails for a hook to sound alright, using melodies to hide the oversight. You bought a flow from someone else to keep your image tight, fronting like you're dangerous but running from a real fight. I recognize the industry plants who are shaking in fright, trying to be icons with a ghostwriter to ignite, paying from the pocket for a rookie to underwrite, crying to the labels, killing the acolyte. I'm hitting like a Mack truck, coming with the second sight, burying the imposters in the bottom of a dark site. Your narrative is fabricated, lacking all the inner light, preaching to the masses while you're hiding from the headlight. I drop a masterpiece and watch you scurry like a termite, eating at the structure while I'm shining like a satellite. The West Coast is back to put a finish to your weak, despite leaving every studio gangster lost without a way to rewrite. Rolling on the rhythm with a ruthless requisition, tearing out the opposition with a deadly true precision. I don't need a middleman to multiply my mission, I provide my own ignition, making every last decision. Singing for the streets, creating critical collision, dropping down the demolition on your counterfeit division. Never bought a bar, bring the brutal inquisition, separating fake illusions from the legendary vision. Bop.